study history because history explains why the world is the way it is. I think of all the subjects, I think history explains better than many others. When you understand a nation or a region's history, you understand its people, and I think an understanding of history makes the world an easier place to live in.
Had a regular nurse, Nurse, you never just see old mister with the baby, never no time. It had a regular nurse. It's like, you'd hire somebody's nurse, but be a grown woman nurse, tend to that baby. And to keep them kids, never did care to old mister that was hungry night or day. Now that was hungry. They carried that too. You tend to that baby. That baby slept with the old nurses, no. Yes, I slept with him. Didn't have nothing to do. Carry the baby and sit there until he'd tell his nurse, and then after the nurse, then you carried back, tend to it. You didn't have to she tend to it, and give it to you. You give it to her and nurse it, care how cold it is, and you carry that baby back on in that room where you was. And I know.
Well, did the mistress nurse the baby, or did she have?
Yeah. She nursed from the breast. But see, she nursed this baby that hit to be hungry. Well, nurse would bring it to her and let her nurse it. And then when she nursed, she'd hand it right back, night or day, And tend that baby night and day, hand it back to her. If that baby's any kind of sick, that nurse had to sit up there at night and tend to it. Yes. Well, more than...
Never did, huh?
Ma'am.
Never would take care of it like that.
No. No, I don't tend to.
Well, do you remember any of the slaves being sold? Do you remember any slave sellers? Men that would just buy and sell slaves?
No, sir, I never did see it. I should have never did know that, We hear talk of it, but then I ring that was after slave, I ring. We hear talk of it. You see them talk about, putting them on stumps, or something high, and beating them off like you did cattle. Beat them off like you did cattle.
Well, none of your folks were ever sold then?
No, sir, none of them never was sold.
You were born right there, never did leave? You were?
Born right there and stayed there until I was about 9, 10 years old, maybe even more. Stayed right there. We didn't know where to go. Mom and them didn't know where to go. You see, after freedom broke, just like you turn something out, didn't know where to go. That's just where they stayed. Didn't know where to go.
Well, brace yourselves for a minor miracle. For reasons I'll explain as we go along, we have the voices and the memories and a few black and white photographs to go along of some men and women who were born, some of them 150 years ago. And what makes these recollections all the more remarkable is that these men and women had been bought and sold like so much livestock.
Tell you the truth, when I think of it today, I don't know how I'm living.
I remember that just as well. Look like to me, I can.
Been slaves all our lives. My mother was a slave, my sister was a slave, father was a slave.
They know nothing about reading right. All that I know, they teach you to mind your master and your missus. Mom and them didn't know where to go. You see, after freedom broke, just like you turn something out, didn't know where to go.
They are haunting voices from the past. Not actors reading a script or scholars reading a text, but the actual voices of men and women, Americans, who were born in slavery.
My name is Fountain Hughes. I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather was 115 years old when he died. And now I am 101 years old.
Incredible as it seems, we are listening to the voices of ex-slaves telling of their lives in bondage. Men like Fountain Hughes on the living conditions of slaves in Virginia in the 1860s when he was a teenager.
Other people didn't have no beds when they were slaves. They all slept on the floor. Pallet here, pallet there. Just like a lot of wild people. We didn't know nothing. Didn't like to look at no book.
Women like Laura Smalley, describing the makeshift church where slaves worshipped on a big plantation in East Texas.
All the church would have built a tub of water sitting just like this thing is, you know, and that would catch your voice, and they would have church around that tub, all of them get around the tub.
Or Harriet Smith, remembering what she saw as a small girl during the final days of the Civil War.
We stood on that picket fence all day long, seeing them soldiers going back to Silent Zone in different places. Colored soldiers in gold. That's right along by our house. Our home is a two-story house, a white folk.
These recorded memories were among thousands of interviews done with ex-slaves in the 1930s and 40s. The majority were written interviews published in pamphlets and books. A handful were recorded on the latest equipment of the day, 200-pound portable recorders that a hearty band of folklorists lugged across the South.
You better go free, you know. Of course, but I have...
These recordings, once scratchy, distant, filled with the crackle and pop of that primitive equipment,
Nothing worries me. My head ain't even white.
Now have been cleaned up through the magic of modern technology, digitized.
I'm the oldest one that I know that's living.
The age of the computer has reached back to polish a memory from another century,
No.
150 years ago.
Can you remember slavery days very well?
Of course, I remember all our white folks, and all the names of them, all the children. Call every one of the children's names.
Who did you belong to?
Jim Button, the baby boy.
Do you remember when the Civil War was being fought?
Well, I can't remember much about it, but I remember this much. When Mr. Bethany was gone a long time, looked like a long time, and I remember all the next morning, when he got up. Now don't knock that back there. When we all got up and all of them went to the house to see old master. And I thought old master was dead, but he had been off to the war and come back. But then I didn't know he went to the war. I just didn't know he was gone a long time. All the niggas gathered around to see old master again. And old master didn't tell it was free.
He didn't tell you that?
No, he didn't tell. They waited. I think now they said they wait them 6 months out of that. 6 months. And turn them loose on the 19th of June.
Here is 91-year-old Texan Laura Smalley talking in the 1940s about the outcome of a tussle between two women, one black, one white, one slave, one mistress. The mistress tried to slap the slave, but the black woman pushed her into a chair. Laura Smalley was a girl at the time, but she remembers vividly what happened to the black woman when the master came home.
I remember that just as well. Looked like to me, I can't. And round a tree, and whipped her. Well, she couldn't do nothing but just kick her feet, you know, just kick her feet. But it just had her clothes all down to her waist, you know. It didn't have her plumb naked, but they had her clothes down to her waist. And every now and then they'd whoop her, you know, and then snuff the pipe out on her, you know. Snuff the pipe out on her. You know, the embers in the pipe. Don't you ever see the pipe smoking?
Blow them out on her? Good Lord, mercy.
Blow them out on her.
Did she scream?
Yeah, I reckon she was. I reckon she did. But you see, we was dared to go out there where it was, you know, because our old Marshall was whoopers, and then Uncle Saul was whoopers. You see that at overseer, Uncle Saul. Her papa was overseer. But he had a whooper. And whooped her too. I'm sure he whooped her. Well, he whooped her so then at night it had to grease her back. Grease her back. I don't know what kind of grease they had, but they sure grease her back. At night, you know, that way. We just grease her back. And so after they whooped her so long, whooped her then so long that way, they quit. They quit.
The idea of hearing the voices of actual slaves from the plantations of the Old South is as powerful, as startling, really, as if you could hear Abraham Lincoln or Robert E. Lee speak. Listen again to Fountain Hughes, who was born in 1848.
We were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench and put you up on the bench and bid on you, the same as bidding on cattle, you know.
Much of what these three former slaves say may at first seem unremarkable. Much of what they say may surprise and upset. And their calm demeanor is at odds with the evil and violence we associate with slavery.
I don't know about the church when it first started up no more than, you know, when I was a child, you know, they didn't have no church, you know, in no house, you know, they had in the trees. Under the tree, yes ma'am, under the tree.
Brush arbors.
Yes, sir. Some that didn't have no brush arbor, they just had it under the tree. You see, just had it under a tree.
What is remarkable in the taped recollections of these ex-slaves is the lack of anger. Remember, though, that these are the recollections of people who were children or teenagers during slavery. Remember, too, how intimidating it is for most of us today to have a microphone or camera thrust at us and to be asked questions on the street. It must have been even more daunting for poor blacks living in a highly segregated South to be asked by white strangers using a strange machine to talk candidly about being slaves. For all that, it is startling how much the ex-slaves reveal.
What kind of songs did they sing? Do you remember the names of any of the songs?
No, I can't remember. I can't read. I never remember the song. But they didn't sing songs like they sing now, you know. They sing them old songs, you know, about Amazing Grace, how sweet it sounds, you know, all like that. But, you know, I can't recollect all of them. I can't recollect them since I've been grown. No, sir. I recollect them. That's what Moses sung, Amazing Grace, how sweet it sounds, you know, all like that. And I don't know hardly all them old songs. Sometimes I can bring some old songs up, and then I can't.
Well, did you ever hear one called Couldn't Hear Nobody Pray?
Yes, I've heard that.
Was that one they sang way back?
No, they didn't sing that way back in the time. Now, they sung an old song about the thunderbolt rattling, poor sinner stand so idle. Lord, I got a union in my soul.
How does that go?
Let me see, I'll sing a little of it.
Like
the thunderbolt rattling, poor sinner stand so idle, son. Lord, I got union in my soul, ain't got long stay.
I've heard it. Can you sing the rest of that? That's a good one. That's the show fine.
Lord, ain't got long stay. Lord, ain't got long stay in the world. Ain't got long stay. God's calling me and I ain't got long stay. Lord, I ain't got long to stay in the world. I ain't got long to stay. Goodbye, I ain't got long to stay. Lord, I ain't got long to stay in the world. I ain't got long to stay. God's calling me and I ain't got long to stay. Lord, I ain't got long to stay in the world. I ain't got long to stay. Farewell, I ain't got long to stay. Lord, I ain't got long to stay in the world. I ain't got much of a voice for singing.
You got a good voice. Have mercy, child. I know you can sing that good.
I ain't got no voice for singing.
You remember a song called Go Down Moses?
Go down, Moses.
Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go.
I never did know that. Go down, Moses. I went to Mountain City to the white folks' church many times. See, the white folks would have church in the morning, then they'd let the colored people have church at their church in the evening.
During slavery.
During slave time.
Laura Smalley lived in the same area of Texas as Harriet Smith, near the Brazos River, one of more than 100 slaves on a big cotton plantation. Religion offered no consolation to the slaves here because the master forbade them the practice of religion, and there was hell to pay if the master caught them at prayer.
They don't have no church. No, they didn't have a church. And the old master come along with one of them. One of them was there having church around the tub, and he's down praying. The old master come in, he just a praying. He come in, he did, and told him, get up from there. He didn't get up, he just a praying. He said, the old master come in, so whoop me. He quit praying and then asked the Lord, have mercy on the old master. Old master was whooping with a bullwhip. He told her, have mercy on the old master. And that old master whooped him, and he kept up, wouldn't get up, just flinch, just like a person, when a person hits you, it flinch. He just prayed for old master. The old master stepped back and said, I'm ready to kick you naked. I'm ready to kick you naked. Nigga never stopped praying, he had to go on leaving praying. He go on leaving praying. Because he wouldn't stop.
Oh yes, the old ship of Zion. Do you remember that one?
I remember it, but I don't know it all. Get on board, little children, get on board. You don't sing it, that way.
How do you sing it?
Ship of Zion, get on the board. I don't know much of that. I have got my mother on the ship of Zion. Get on board, the little children. I can't get that together. I don't know many songs. These are late notes, a late song.
The plantation on which Smalley was a slave sounds brutal. She recalls scrambling with other children for food from a huge wooden tray, like a hog trough.
All of them, would get around that tray with spoons and eat. Sit like mush or soup or something like that. And all them children get around there and just eat.
Fountain Hughes tells his interviewer about the relentless round of work for him on a Virginia plantation.
Night never comes out. You have nothing to do. Time to cut tobacco. If they want you to cut all night long out in the field, you cut. And if they want you to hang all night long, you hang tobacco. It didn't matter about your tired, being tired, you're afraid to say you're tired.
Well, how many grandchildren have you? How many children you got and grandchildren you got?
I must see. I got 4 living children. 4 living children. And about 25 grandchildren. 25 now. In years I'll come at it. I think it's 25. And I've got 34 great-grandchildren, I think.
Has church services changed much from the way they used to be?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How have they changed?
Mm-hmm.
I say how? How have they? In what way?
The people done changed up from singing, and changed up from religion and everything, that way.
Is that right?
Yes, they done changed up from religion and everything that way. I'm trying to get this song like, I've been saved all day, no evil have I done. Been saved all day, no evil have I done. Been saved all day, no evil have I done. Sanctified and holy, no evil have I done. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done. Good Lord. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done. Sanctified and holy, no evil have I done. I haven't lied on nobody, no evil have I done. I haven't lied on nobody, no evil have I done. I haven't lied on nobody, no evil have I done. Sanctified and holy, no evil have I done. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done, good Lord. Yes, I love everybody, no evil have I done. Sanctified and holy, no evil have I done.
Good one. Where'd you hear that one?
It was cotton, not tobacco, that solidified slavery, though. The invention of the cotton gin at the end of the 18th century made its processing easy, but the crop still needed enormous amounts of unskilled labor. Control of the slave and his labor through laws and regulations became paramount. Fountain Hughes talks about one of those controls, the pass system.
Now, I couldn't go from here across the street, or I couldn't go to nobody's house without I have a note or something from my master. And if I had that pass, that was what we call a pass. If I had that pass, I could go wherever he sent me, and I'd have to be back. Whoever he sent me to, they'd give me another pass, and I'd bring that back, so to show how long.
Even emancipation didn't truly free the slaves. Freedom freed slaves for more travail. The end of the Civil War found many cast adrift without skills and no place to go. And the Yankees who freed them weren't always seen as benevolent liberators.
I remember when the Yankees come along, took all the good horses and took sold all the meat and flour and sugar and stuff out in the river and let it go down the river. And they know the people wouldn't have nothing to live on, but they done that.
The ex-slaves left one hell for another, perhaps an even more dangerous one. No longer property, they didn't have the protections afforded property.
When we were slaves, we couldn't do that, see? And if we got free, we didn't know nothing to do. And my mother, she hunted places and bound us out for $1 a month. But we didn't have no property, we didn't have no home. We had nowhere, nothing. We didn't have nothing on it, just like the cattle, we just turned out and get along the best you could.
In Texas, the slaves weren't told they were free until 2 months after the war ended. Smalley remembers that her masters gave the slaves a dinner, and then they were free. Good times, easy times, were not at hand. The trials for millions of black Americans didn't end in 1865. They continued. Laura Smalley and her family became sharecroppers. Harriet Smith's first husband was killed by whites during the Reconstruction, probably because of his political organizing. Fountain Hughes went north to Baltimore and worked at numerous jobs, including hauling manure. Not an enviable job, but it was the job of a free man.
Right after the Civil War, well, the Negroes used to hold office in this town, didn't they?
That's what they say.
That's what it's written in the history books, that the Negroes used to hold office until they had a big fight about something, I don't know just what, and then after that they put a law in that they never could.
That was here in Hampton. That wasn't over outside. I ain't never know but the one man tried to hold office, and that was Handy Smith. Big old black man. He tried to hold office, over there. And but he slept too much, and they had him on the graduate, he sleep and slept. And let him go.
And ain't more use for him.
Yeah, they put him on a grand jury, half him up, and he just go to sleep.
Hearing the tapes had a profound effect on everyone who worked with them.
I was truly amazed when I first heard the recorded interviews.
I just fell in love with Fountain. He had the type of emotions that I really liked. He had anger, and so it felt good to me. It validated for me my feeling that this was a horrible, horrible thing to happen to any people.
But the final word belongs to Fountain Hughes. When asked by his interviewer which he would rather be, free or slave, he answered with intensity.
Me? Which I'd rather be? You know what I'd rather do? If I thought, had any idea, that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog.
Sanctified